Welcome to the CFG Gamecast episode number 167, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episodes every Friday, and we release it on all podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, and so much more. So show us some love. Give us a follow on Facebook, a like on YouTube, or subscribe on our Twitch channel, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today are my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg?
Ooh, played some of the new Devour map this week. Also played Labyrinthine Chapter 6, which is rough skis.
Is that a new chapter?
New chapter, and I read some of the reviews on the community for Steam, and they're like, this is unbeatable. And I was lost in this mine for 2 hours, and following your glow sticks after a certain point is real hard because everyone's glow sticks are down, and two of us didn't realize that we had the same glow stick shape. So I don't know if it was because it was dark or it's the weather lately, but I started having a sleep attack, and I was like, I gotta pull out of this game. I can't. And my group couldn't find them. They were off doing whatever, and I was like, I'm so sorry. So I raided them. I'm like, I am having a sleep attack. I gotta go. And I walked into the bedroom and just lay down, and I was out. So It was, chapter 6 is rough. So I'm gonna try that again this weekend, hopefully with my crew. But yeah, gaming has been fun. Life stuff has been, got my dad's house out of foreclosure. Yay! For the meantime. Yeah. So put a cork in that one. Smoke it. What do they say? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Screw you, house people. So I did it. That's all. That's all I did.
Oh, that's good. Well, it sounds like you had a very adventurous week. My goodness, but still, but at least it's the end of it. Well, at least it's the end for now. To be continued till next week.
To be continued, indeed. And my narcolepsy medication is still not up. Stupid insurance company. I'm coming for you guys.
I don't even understand. That's the whole adventure. I don't understand. Like, what the hell that?
It needs a pre-auth. What? Come on. If he's prescribed it, I need it. Duh.
Oh God. You know who would give you your prescription medicine if you asked him politely, Lex?
I do. His name is
the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat, and just to be sure, just let people know he's not a doctor.
I am not a doctor. But it's been a pretty busy week. For me, work-wise and whatnot. Both my parents are in town, so we've been seeing them and doing stuff. I got a dinner here in a little bit. That's why I got to jet and make this quicker for myself. But overall, just been really getting down on Snap and been grinding through Destiny, trying to get my level up. Obviously, we're going to be talking about here Lance Reddick here in a little bit and his passing and whatnot. But other than that, it's primarily been Snap where I can get it in, and this past Tuesday too, we did Marvel Snap tournament. You were part of it as well with the Las Vegas Inferno. It was not a tournament, I'm sorry, it was a community night for Las Vegas Inferno. So that was dope, being able to come together, play against other people, check out each other's decks, and talk trash, of course. So overall, it was a great time.
I was undefeated that night, baby.
Were you?
That's what I did not. Ooh. I didn't lose once. So
that's what's up.
So yeah. So just to put that additional to the ego meter here in that game.
Yeah, go ahead. It's not like your head needs to get any bigger, but other than that, though, we had the last bitch. We also had the Last of Us finale that had happened this past Sunday as well. So again, I really love what they did with the adaptation. I'm super excited for the second season and just all the events that happen. I know that the second game, I feel, is very controversial for some people. I thought it was absolutely excellent. And again, I
controversial.
I felt like there was a lot of controversy behind the game, and I don't want to get into it just in case people are just watching or haven't played the second one, but there's a lot of I mean, and to think, like, if people were freaking out on season one, like, Season 2, their heads are gonna explode.
So wait, so the season 1 basically end where the game
where the first
originally
game
ended?
ends. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, what they could essentially do, because this was from 1 to 2 is a giant time skip. I think it was like 5 years, 5 or
It's
6
a good
year
amount.
time
Yeah.
skip. Yeah, so I mean, they could literally
Maybe
make.
2 seasons.
It's only 2 seasons.
It's
Is that what they said?
gonna at least be 2 seasons.
They said
for the second
they're gonna
game.
make it. Yeah.
There's no way they can fit all of that info without people losing pieces
There's
of the
too much that
story.
happens.
There's too
Yeah.
much. There's too much.
There's way
And
more that happens.
There's a lot of side story they could talk about
Yeah.
too. So I got.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
chills
just saying, like,
thinking about
I'm
it.
just saying that could they make stuff up in between the first and the second season? Is what I was thinking that they were going to do, because if
They're gonna
if
have to.
successful, yeah,
They're gonna have to, because the main no spoilers. The main kickoff, there's not a lot of explanation, and so
Mhm.
the story makers could really work on that and give it a bigger, broader story as to why and how that kicks off the second season.
because Neil Druckmann's is actively a part of the series, so he's making the. I mean, he's making the world of Last of Us on the live feature thing like this. So I mean, I'm just saying that if they're wanting to prolong it, if their plan was they were going to make it 2 seasons, then awesome. So but I was thinking that they were just going to maybe extend more of what happened in that 5-year break before they automatically go to the second to the second game. Is what
My guess is that we'll see some of that stuff like in flashback scenarios, kind of like what we saw with this first season, where we get some context as to what's happened and they visit it that way instead of spending that time and seeing all that, because I feel like that would get kind of boring.
Okay.
Well,
I mean,
also in the second game they do flashbacks, whereas they didn't really in the first game. So
Right.
they're going to utilize that a lot more. And all you ladies who are falling in love with Pedro Pascal, good on you.
you know what? You need to stop being vague. and just not say, and just not say anything, because that would be probably the better way to describe it. Because I know people are going to start crying, because I know that's what happened last time. Although the first movie, yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, a great series. I thought
good.
they really, stepped up the bar and set the bar for video game adaptions moving forward. I know that there's talks about a Destiny something, which will be really good. I don't know if they plan on coming back with more Edge Runners, which was fantastic as well. I loved the what was the other one with the Jinx? Is that League of Legends?
Edge Runners was really good. Oh yeah,
that was great. I'm waiting for that. So like they've really so I'm really excited for the future of video game adaptions and whatnot. Anyway, that's what it was good. How was your week?
My week was pretty good too. Like I said, like what Smitty said earlier, I did part of the Las Vegas Inferno's community night with Snap. Showed some stuff with how you play Snap correctly.
Wow, this guy, dude. This is why you can't let him win. This is why you can't let him win. Insufferable.
Hey, if you don't want me to win, just get good. That's all I'm saying. But
working on it.
But so we've been so did that on the other day. I treated myself, because remember a long time ago I said I wanted a purple PlayStation 5, like with the case and stuff.
I saw it.
Yeah,
Grimace.
Yeah, so I made it. So it happened. It happened this week. For my birthday present to myself, I decided to forget the shell casing. So a long time ago, I had a Game Boy 3DS that was the bedazzling purple 3DS that I had, and then I called it the Grimace. And my girlfriend at the time basically took it, but then when we broke up, I never got it back. So I was like, okay, I really miss the Grimace. So now the new PS5 I have with the new PS5 shelling is now Grimace 2.0. And no one's taking that away from me.
Take that to the bank.
Is it
take
sparkly?
That to the bank.
It's not sparkly.
There it is. Oops.
For you.
That camera's messed
I'm
up.
fine.
Oh, fine then.
I'm fine.
I'm just
fine.
little.
I like
I'm
the gloss. Your camera's messed up.
Yeah, that's all right.
So yeah, I got that. So been messing around with that a lot. Just been fooling around with more Wild Hearts, the same old until what's it called, the new Star Wars comes out. And that's I'm actually debating if I want to do a spoiler cast for that. So, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. But yeah, that's pretty much this week has been pretty good. So, and things are heating up over here, which is great. It's like I've been in the cold house for a long time. Now it's kind of nice getting a little bit of heat inside here. So let's get, anyways, let's go through the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic of discussion in the world of video games each and every week. The topic would or could be a game itself or something that happened in the gaming industry. And we don't want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the viewers on Twitch, the viewers on YouTube and Facebook Live, to be a part of the conversation. So if there's something that you're wanting to chime in about, by all means, type it inside the chat. We would love to discuss it with y'all and just be a part of the conversation. So let's get this started with Smitty this week.
Yeah, no, I'm sure as many of you have heard via social medias and whatnot, but we lost an absolute legend today in Lance Reddick. I don't know. This one is especially brutal. I've always been a huge fan of Lance and just the work that he's done. I mean, from like the first thing I saw him in was Lost, Fringe, like some of my favorite shows he's been a part of, The Wire, like the dude's classic. Games wise, he was Silas in why am I spacing? Horizon Zero, Horizon, the Horizon series, and then obviously he's also Commander Zavala in Destiny, and we've been playing Destiny for 10 years now almost, and he's been a part of that. So, within that story, we lost Cade, the character, but now, we've lost the actor who plays Zavala. So I don't know, obviously this happened today. So this the furthest thing from anybody's mind, but, is that something that they keep, or do they do the story and like somehow he passes in the game or what? But I mean, this dude just acts like something like that. He's you know how there's some people that just have a voice and you're just like, something about their voice just makes you like, it makes you pay attention to them. Like that dude has one of those voices, and just that look and like everything about him is very distinct. It's just crazy. It's really sad. He was only 60 years old. That's young. That's like, this seems like a complete shocker. Obviously, he was in the John Wick series as well. So, or it's John Wick, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
John Wick.
Yeah. Okay.
John Wick.
He was the concierge.
Yeah. So, I mean, so many different characters from so many different genres through the years. He's really touched a lot of people in some way with this just distinct style and who he is, and even outside of outside of acting, he was a gamer. He played Destiny, and you know what I mean? Like dude, some of the best moments you see him like just having conversations or talking shit, in PvP or, whatever. It's absolutely amazing. So, this is just an absolute terrible loss. And obviously we're sending our condolences to his family and his loved ones. But I feel like, this loss has really touched a lot of people in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, it's crazy. Like, I'm not familiar with Commander Zavala because I've never really played Destiny that much. So, but I do, but I don't. But like, I had to ask Smitty, like, what does this mean? And when I was seeing on Twitter a lot, like it was
I shamed him.
Of it. Yeah, no, being what Smitty does and is, you can take the opportunity. But like, but Smitty's absolutely 100% right. His voice is distinctive. He's like for instance, like James Earl Jones with Darth Vader and stuff. Like, you don't have to see him as the character, but you just know that it's like, wow, it's James Earl Jones. He has that voice that just dominates, but just to say like the level of like what he did in just gaming characters alone. I mean, that's not even including what he's done in theater, in movies, and his television career. It's a very hard hit. And like, I mean, just recently, Vox Machina is one of my favorite animated shows I'm watching right now, and he's the main. Yeah, he's
I haven't
the
even started it.
he's the main bad guy in the
Oh my
second
gosh.
season. And then I'm just like, oh no! So they're gonna have to change his voice to someone that's like, you're like, oh yeah, you unfortunately you're gonna have to replace the voice of Thordak, which is the character he was playing. And I'm like, no one's gonna, you can't replace that. It's unbelievable, like it's irreplaceable. So. And the one of the bit, he's gonna say the Eric Zukar the Tall says if you haven't seen it, you should check out the Lance Reddick segment of Eric Andre show.
I absolutely have seen it. It is amazing.
There's a two-part. It's a two-parter.
Is it really?
Eric. Yeah, because there's the first one, and then the first one was when he first went on the show, but then he came back because I think it was with LeVar Burton, when LeVar Burton was a guest, and then he comes back because he said something on the first show with it. So you got to watch that if you haven't. Another one you need to watch is Toys R Me. That's the one that I remember who Lance.
I've heard something about that.
Toys R Me is hilariously funny. So so he's the owner of a toy store that he's like showing, he's the manager, and he's just using pure intimidation to the smaller to the part-timers and stuff, and it is hilarious, the speech and stuff. So yeah, but no, Lance Reddick, man, dude, it hurts, especially today. With like randomly perfect day, and all of a sudden I heard the news and I was like, what? It's like, are you serious? And this is a discussion in itself. If someone knows, please let me know, because I am actually legitimately wondering, because they initially said that when they found him in his apartment, they said natural causes. Like, what does natural causes essentially mean? Like, when a person is classified that they say that they passed away from natural causes, I mean, like, what, like, how does that entail? Because when a person dies of a heart attack, they'll tell you a heart attack, or they'll tell you, or something like that. But what is natural causes? Because it's really weird when you see, like, because there's times when you've seen people pass away at their 25, 26, and they say they died of natural causes. It's like, what? It's like, is that inconclusive? I mean,
so
yeah, please let me know if anyone knows.
I can. Basically, a natural death means that there was nothing on the exterior of their body that could have caused the death. So, like, no pinpricks, no, like, for drug usage, or not to say that he was, but it's internal. So it might have been cancer, heart disease, diabetes, stuff like that. So natural in the fact that it wasn't an outside source that caused them to pass away. Does that make sense? Break it down a little bit. But yeah, I have to say, when I saw the news, I saw it through Smitty, and I was like, he's talking about a different Lance Reddick, right? Because we were talking about him last week, which, Smitty, how dare you? You jinxed him. It's all your fault. I was like, no way. So I typed it in. That was the first thing that popped up. I remember him being on West Wing, and I had to write a report about it every week. And I just remember he played such a good bad guy. And then every time I saw him, as far as like TV or film after that, and he played a bad guy, it's like, this guy's perfect for a bad guy. He's always so good. He keeps such a straight face. I loved his work. I loved him in John Wick. He played Thordak, which I love Vox Machina. I've been trying to get Ravage to watch it. I'm so brokenhearted, and 60 is young. I lost my dad last year and he was 68. So, we talk about people getting older, and it's like, 50 and 60 isn't really that old. We're supposed to live until our 80s and 90s. So in the grand scheme of things, these people had 20 more years to go. And, his list on IMDb is insane. I mean, he was on Castle. He, like, all of my favorite shows he's been on. So whether he was in an episode or two, or just, as a quick role, everything he did was so notable. And I'm so sad.
He was that quintessential black guy for me. You just need a black guy that's gonna talk to you like this, and that's just exactly really like something about his voice. I'm just like, yeah, that's how I want to talk. Like certain characters, like I totally embody Lance Reddick. Like that's what I think about when I can. Like, there's something about, and like even the tone and like the pace and you know what I mean. Like just his, I can't think of what the word is.
He's almost got a musicality to him. Yes. And I know that there's a word for it, but yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. But it's always been very distinctive, and I mean, he's just
great characters, great from what I've seen. He seemed like a fantastic human being. I believe he had dogs, 3 dogs, as well. So he was a proud dog dad.
It just sucks though, because it's like, man, I think it just feels so raw because he was actively on a press tour for John Wick 4, like literally like days ago, and he was going to be on the what's her name, the girl who won American Idol, the very first American Idol, forgot her name.
Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah,
Kelly Clark. Yeah, she was going to be on Kelly Clarkson's show next week and stuff. It's just like it felt like
I was going to record it.
He was on the go. He was on the go. Like it's just like he wasn't like a person that was like, reclusive and stuff like and that you usually kind of hear. Like, I mean, like, like a couple of weeks ago we just saw that we just recently lost Tom Sizemore. And stuff like that kind of situation. But he was an active deal like towards all of this. But like and you're funny about like iconic, like it's kind of funny because like you were saying, like it's like you said, like I mean James Earl Jones is on that list. Billy D. Williams is on that list, you know. The dude from Allstate, that guy, that dude's voice, like iconic. That iconic thing is it's just hilarious. Yeah, Lance Reddick, if anything, was definitely a stand-up. It was actually funny because he's one of the dudes I always wanted to get a chance to talk to. I'm like,
same.
I'll get the balls. Yeah, I'll get the balls to ask him one day. It's like he's gonna be here, and then now it's like. Jesus, it's like
I know. I literally was I was literally thinking about that too. I was like, he was like on my short list of people to reach out to and try to get on a show.
Well,
it's just like, man.
Zukara said in the chat on Twitch, he still has projects filmed that are coming out soon as well. On top of John Wick 4, he's Zeus in the new Percy Jackson. So
is that a TV show?
Waiting for Percy Jackson to come out. It is.
Was that gonna be a TV show? Yeah,
I believe it's a show.
Okay.
It's crazy. So they're probably gonna replace it with like Jamon Hansu or something.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
I know who it is.
No. He's just doing a stupid reference to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Thank you for getting that. I hope you guys got it at home as well.
I cannot believe. I'm the dude that usually like have no idea. It usually goes over my head, and I'm the one that gets that one.
Oh, fantastic!
But anyways, I mean, thank you for thanks for everything that he has done, what he's contributed, and everything. It was just like it sucks to see him go out. I mean, but let him rest in peace. And like I said, and also like Zakara was saying earlier, like shout out to the Destiny community for congregating around his character in game and paying their respects and stuff. It's like they know. I mean, I don't think anyone has a bad thing to say about this guy.
No.
I
would say that was a really like I had to go in. You know what I mean? I went in. I was like, let me see. And let me just go pay respect. And then other people started coming up and you know what I mean? Like we were all doing it. Some people had banners up and stuff like that. Yeah. So just to see that kind of, especially from the Destiny community, folks come in and pay their respects to a character that, has been along for the ride, and a great character, but, even more so a wonderful human being since day one. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. It's always been a part of it. So, again, just hopefully he's able to rest and our condolences again to his family and to everyone that's affected. Cause I know that it definitely affects a lot of people. So
I will have to say this though, Smitty, because we literally found this out maybe 2 hours before the show today when it happened. It's like this is probably the most closest like topic that you've to recently come in. That's why
I had to
doing this. Yeah, that's why I like doing it. That's why I like doing this show at the end of the week, because God knows what's going to happen. Like at the end or whatever. So, but I'm just glad we were able to get a chance to truly discuss it, especially when it's so raw in our mind. So,
absolutely.
All right, Lex, what are you bringing to the table?
I got the sniffles. Excuse me, I got something in my eye. So Rust, it's a survival game. If you don't know it, basically it's it's a survival game. It's apocalypse survival game. A lot of people enjoy it. It's something that I used to play back in the day. But some bad news. So the Rust developer, Face Bunch, they had to cancel a meet and greet that they were going to do after GD because they got a death threat, and not just a normal death threat, I am assuming, because apparently they get them all the time. Did you know this? I didn't.
That's insane.
Yeah. So apparently,
it's not the stretch from the imagination, because Rust is
Yeah.
a very toxic community. It is a very toxic community.
that's why I stopped playing it.
Mhm.
So in an email exchange, producer Alistair McFarlane told PC Gamer that the threats are commonplace for developers of survival game, and that they see like the staff faces threats daily, and people will go out of their way to find them, like on the street, to try to dox them, etc., because they've changed something in the game, which is absolutely ridiculous. And so the threat had to be real enough for them to cancel, because if they're getting them all the time and this is commonplace, you know,
Goodness.
obviously it's a bigger threat. So their statement was, "We're happy to announce, due to an IRL threat we must take seriously, we're having to cancel the GDC meetup in San Francisco next week. If you would like to show us portfolios, talk shop, or get feedback on your work, please reach out via email. We're so sorry." And you know, it got met with disappointment on Twitter, and I think, you know, as Twitter's a cesspool, but I think the
Mhm.
issue I have here is, if you love a game that much, right, and your community and your friends all build your relationships around this game, that's great. That's awesome. That's what they're meant to be there for. But something so small and minuscule as a change in the game that may not be permanent, they're just testing it out, causes you to send death threats? Maybe you should go to therapy. I don't know, just a thought. That really pissed me off, because, you know, it was a for fans who have been really respectful and supportive of the game. You know, this was something that they were looking forward to, and of course, it's just a small subset of people that are sending the death threats. It's not everybody that plays Rust, of course, but you know, it's like the one person ruins it for us all, right?
Mhm.
And I was curious what you guys thought. This makes my blood boil.
Well, like, I mean, if anything, like, if anyone's going to be mad at a game like this, I mean, I've already kind of pretty much am in the stance of, if anyone who always wants to do a death threat of a game, or cares enough in the game itself to be harassing and to be this kind of person, to the you know, like, to the community of the like developers and stuff like that, and then trying to actively threaten them for their lives because it's a change that they didn't like, or they're just wanting to troll or whatever, then you know, you're a piece of crap. I mean, there's no if ands. I mean, there's no if ands or buts on it. It's not like,
I know,
like,
I'm a piece of crap. Angrily
how
types.
can you spin? Yeah, like, how can you spin it to not be? It's like for instance, you know, like in when Apex was getting hacked because of the Titanfall community,
Yeah.
because of they were just wanting to show their foot to Titanfall, saying, hey, you need to show more love to the Titanfall folks and stuff. It's like, you're not helping it. You're not helping your case when you're intervening and into these kind of things.
No.
These people are not going to be like going to listen and be like, oh, hey, yeah, we heard you. We heard since you disrupted our moneymaker, and we're going to go do what you're telling us to do. No, it's going to be the other way around. They're going to be more aggressive of being like, okay, it's like, these people, like, why are we going to cater for these kind of folks, and why are we going to reward bad behavior towards this kind of thing? It's just saddening, to be honest with you. It's like I said, Rust already had a very tumultuous like community already,
Yeah.
because of, you know, the people that were in it, like, for the longest of time, and like streamers that kind of made, like, that were trolling and just trying to just do whatever they're wanting to do, just made it to make it feel like that. So there's already a lot of weird hate inside that community within itself. So I just, it's like, it's just a shame. I mean, it's not like Rust is a huge game. It's not. It's not. And but I'm glad that they were being responsible. They're looking at it responsibly. Like, this isn't worth someone's life. If people are going to be giving out these threats, it's just a shame that they have. That's what we're at today about, like, if a studio wants to do stuff with their community, but can't, because their community, you have that one individual that's making it impossible for you to to interact with other people. So I mean, it's like, well, so I'm so like, it just sucks. It's just really terrible that you have to be like that. That's where we're at right now.
I feel like it definitely shows again a sense of entitlement that people just think that they, you know, like I see it with the Destiny 2 community as well, or the Destiny community in general, where like they are like directly like hitting up, you know, these CMs, you know, on their personal accounts and stuff like that. They're trying to direct them to the community stuff or to the team page or whatever. And like, they just get bombarded with that stuff. And I just will never understand where somebody cares that much about a game that you're willing to threaten somebody's life over a game. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. And this is the number one, this is the right move, because if you move forward with something like this and then something does go down, it's, you know, other than it being a tragedy, but then it's a possible preventable tragedy. So, you know, this is what, and like LV was saying, like, that's why they can't have anything nice. Oh, okay, you're going to do crazy stuff like that, then we're just not going to have events. Why put ourselves out there when the community that we're doing this stuff for is coming at us like that? Again, there's definitely a time I feel where, you know, constructive criticism is necessary, especially something that's developing, or, you know, and just is warranted. But I mean, that, like, you just can't take it to that extreme. You don't know do you know how to make I don't know how to make a game. I certainly don't know what goes into making these games that are super, you know what I mean, like in depth and this and that. So it's like, yo, hold your britches a little bit. I remember like when we got like one video game a year and we were good. We played that the whole year. You know what I mean? Like that was it. You got the game. There it is. Like, so it's just hard to see and not feel almost this sense of entitlement that people have. It's like, look, man, like, you may not like it, but people put hard work into this. Nobody's perfect. Like, what do you know what I mean? Like, if it's that much, then you know what you can do? Go do what like modders do. If you're that in depth, then go make it the game that you think it should be, or make a game like it from that. Not go and threaten somebody. Like, that's just insane. People like that, they need to take that kind of stuff more serious. And I wish that they would do more to actively seek out folks that are doing foolishness like that, because that is scary. And people shouldn't have to be put into situations like that, or fear for their life trying to have a good time with community because there might be a psycho, you know, lurking in the crowd. Nah.
Right. Well, and it's not just that they're canceling it for fear of themselves. It's they're canceling it because they're in fear that the community members who are going to be coming could obviously get hurt, right? And I think that you're right. Unless we start prosecuting these death threats, because modders have gotten it, Project CD recently got a bunch. You know, if they're not going to start prosecuting these people, it's just going to get worse. I mean, you know, the raids for streamers is getting horrible. You're going to get somebody killed one of these days. And, you know, the swatting is unbelievable. And again, if they don't start prosecuting these people, it's just only going to get worse. And, you know, it comes down to, you know, do we have to have a permanent digital footprint from here on out? I would hope not, but we need to find better ways of finding out who these people are, and then the police taking it seriously and taking it from there. And I don't like getting police involved. I'm Italian. You don't call the cops till someone's dead. But it's just how it is. Or a medical emergency, right? And, you know, this is one of those things I'm like, what are you guys doing? You just sitting there twiddling your thumbs? Like, these people are getting real threats. And obviously, like, it had to be that bad for them to cancel this. So, you gonna do something? No? Okay, great.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's just... it just sucks, dude. It really, it's like this is like the backside of like what of gaming culture is now, is because of this. And it's just, it's kind of weird because it's not like something that just this is something that's abruptly been there. It has always been here. It's just now it's just magnified to a level where it's invasive to other people, let alone the community itself. Now it's gone all the way to the developers, because remember, I mean, shoot, this has always been here. I would have to date it back all the way back to like Halo 2, when netcode was starting to get was starting to be a new thing, and you saw how the big toxicity just on just folks acting a fool on just the Xbox chat on while you're playing a game. But like now it's to a point that they're like saying, okay, we're gonna hit it where it's gonna hurt the most. It's like, why y'all wasting y'all's time on this? But yeah, it sucks that Rust is gonna do it. But to say, I just find it funny that out of all the different kinds of games at GDC, it's Rust that gets that gets this, that gets this threat. I'm like, this is so weird to me, but whatever, man.
People are pretty hardcore about Rust, though.
Yeah,
like, people are pretty hardcore about Rust. Like, that is a hardcore game.
Yeah, I was in it for like a good year, and then I got out because my crew just started getting real toxic within each other. It was like, look, it's one thing when we come across other toxic people. It's different when I'm sitting in it, and I don't want to sit in it. So sorry, but see you later.
Right.
I didn't even play it on, like, I didn't even stream it. I would just play it like on the weekends for fun. And I was like, I'm getting stressed out. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, that did not sound like a good time.
Yeah, when you're getting stressed out in the gaming, in gaming, it's like, yeah, that's when you know something's wrong. So
hence why I don't play the Souls games. And
Souls game. If Smitty plays a Souls game, I just see a chair coming out the window. That's what I
don't
feel
need
like
that kind of stress, dude.
Yeah,
nah.
So
I wouldn't do that to myself. I wouldn't do that to myself.
That's funny. All right. Well, all right. We'll wrap it up with my topic. I just wanted to give my experience because it's a game that just came out. It's officially out. It was on Steam early release for the past year. And it was called what was it called? I don't even remember. It's called Death.
Have a nice death.
Have a nice death. Yeah. Have a nice death. There we go. I was like, it just went blank through my head for a minute. Yeah, it's called Have a Nice Death.
You had a moment.
Yeah, I did. I really did. So it was called Have a Nice Death. I actually played this back at PAX East, and I talked to the developers on this with Gearbox at Gearbox, because Gearbox is doing publishing for indie companies now. And so I was able to talk to some of the folks, and they gave me a key of it, and I was like, okay, let me give it a shot, because my personal thing is I don't like playing a game until the game is complete. So I was going to wait, but then I just tested it out to see if it worked. And I was like, the animation of this is cool. And this is actually fully hand-drawn animation too, which is actually surprising.
Yeah.
On how it feels. But like the game itself felt really, really good. Unfortunately, like and it's a simple story. It's like, so you're the Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper is so you're the head of the underworld. Unfortunately, there's so many souls that are coming that you had to do the paperwork side of the underworld. So you're stuck, instead of moving out and doing what you wanted to do, you're stuck in the office, like doing all the paperwork. Then you have your minions taking care of things. But it got to a point that the minions got big headed, and then they're making some crazy mistakes and stuff. So you're like, you know what? I'm done with the paperwork. Let me go through the underworld and survey each department of the underworld. Like, so there's a debt, like there's a like there's the kind of deaths that you have, like there's different departments of each one, like there's a flame stage or something, so there's a torture stage or whatever and things. So you try to go to the managers of each of these stages inside the underworld. During this time, you're wanting to talk to them, and then you're surveying them and saying, why have you not gotten this done right? And then they're talking back at you, so you have to fight them to get in line get in line to what you need to do. So it's a really, really, really fun game. So like at first I was like, oh, let me just play and see how far it goes, and so I played the game for like 10 hours, and I was just like, dang. This is a great, like, it's a Metroid. It plays like a Metroidvania. The cool thing about it too is that the stages are not the same. They're all like, you have to build your character. They'll give you bonuses and achievements and stuff for your upgrades for your weapons and stuff. But the second that you die completely, then you have to start again from the very beginning. So it's a very tough. So it's kind of like a roguelike, but it's not like Dark Souls hard though. That's what it's kind of like what Dead Cells kind of does too.
Mm.
So but it is a fun game with really good animations, really good fights, and then really like really cool different bonuses and features and stuff. So I would definitely suggest that. And this game is not like I think it's like a $20 game. I don't think it's that expensive. It's a really, yeah, I think it's definitely a game I would suggest folks to to mess around. Yeah, it's $25. That's how much it is. Right now it's on sale for $22.49. But it is a really, really fun game. I think folks will definitely enjoy their time playing it. So Have a Nice Death is just officially out, came out today this week. But if you you should definitely, if you love these kind of games, you should definitely check it out.
This seems like something that Retro Lag would like.
Oh, Retro would definitely love that.
He would definitely
This is
love
up
this
my
game.
alley.
Yeah.
Oh, so you like
Yeah.
games like this?
And since it's a side scroller, I can't fall off the platform really unless I go right or left. So this
Right.
very much reminds me of Rocket Knight Adventures, and this is my jam. And with that, if you died, you had to start over.
Well, yeah, it's a classic game. Rocket Knight Adventures is like old school Sega. So yeah, definitely. But the ability, once you get your abilities, that's what makes it even crazier though. I love like the game is beautifully drawn. It is very like the stages feel alive. I love when you're needing to go to each department. There's a break room where you can pick up a random
That's
source.
so cute.
It is so fun. Like they treat it like a business. That's what I love about this thing. So So I think this is I'm debating if I should stream this. Maybe I'll stream it one day again. And since it's officially out and they're technically done, but they're still going to be doing some cool features and attachments to it. But this is this game is something that folks would enjoy.
It's cute, spooky, which I love.
You love cute, spooky? I did not know
I
that.
do. Lost in Random was one of my favorite games of last year. And it had been out for a few years. Lost in Random was so good, and it was cute, spooky. It was kind of like, Nightmare Before Christmas kind of spooky, right? Like kids could watch me play it, and it wasn't that, it wasn't me screaming, running through a forest from a monster that's got a hacksaw, right? So
Right.
I like stuff like this, and sometimes I need that cooldown because I'm still not done with whatchamacallit.
Yeah. Just stop forcing yourself in that game. You don't have to. Looks like a cool game. Is it indie? Yes, it is. That's what Mr. Seven Figures asked. It is indie. It's from a studio,
so
European studio, but the publisher is Gearbox. And,
okay.
So, yeah.
Did you play this with a controller, or were you playing keyboard and mouse?
I play with a controller, but you can play with keyboard and mouse. I never play with controllers for these kind of games.
Wait, you never, or you do?
I never play control. No, I'm sorry, never play keyboard with these.
Okay,
kinds of
I was like, what, dude? Like, I definitely saw an LMB there.
No, there's no way.
An X
no way I would
and
ever.
B and Y.
Like,
you ain't fooling nobody. You ain't fooling nobody.
That's the kind of person Smitty is. He's not gonna back me up. He's just gonna.
What do you mean?
He's
Like it's playing his day. It's playing his day.
Oh, that's
funny. I know a lot of people that would probably like. I love the art. Like the art looks really, really cool. Like the backgrounds and just how they went about going and doing this stuff. I love the concept of it.
Kind of reminds me.
You should
is Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, but like the cutesy version
the comics.
I love Johnny the Homicidal.
I can't even
Maniac.
imagine a cutesy version of that series, but yeah. If you skip forward, like probably closer to the end of the stream, Smitty, I think that you'll see a crazy boss or something, or so. But the game is the game itself is just fun, man. Like I like look at this.
Did you beat it?
And this stuff, like this stream, this is from something I played like last year. They refined it, and then I was just like, I played it the other day, and I'm like,
know what I'm doing tonight?
More, very good game. So definitely get it on it's on Steam right now for $22. Yeah, for $22.
That's not bad.
Definitely very good.
And Seven Figures said the keyboard is only for chat box and game. You listen here, sir. Please zoom me in. Hi, you're talking to me now. Some of us have arthritis and we have to use the keyboard and mouse because our hands can be flat and then we can, go from there. I'm sorry that I don't have agile fingers like you and I can't do or else Adam has to massage my hands at night and I just cry going to bed at night. So unless you
Oof.
want to massage my hands, I gotta play keyboard and mouse. That's why I ask, because some games is very difficult to play keyboard and mouse with. And if it is, then I'll avoid it and be sad
Well,
about it.
as long as you apologize, that's all that really matters. But
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But this is definitely play this game out. I think folks will definitely get their money's worth. This is the kind of games I also love, that when the game isn't like $60, but then most folks kind of have a bad like a bad thing of like, oh well, this game is only this much. It's like, no, this is a good game. This is a very very good game.
I mean, honestly, competitive like indie game price wise, like that's, I don't know how many hours. I'm not going to assume to know.
I
But
don't know either.
For 10 hours, you're saying you played for 10 hours. Let's just say that that's what the game is, right? For $25 for an indie game, that's
Pretty
decent
good.
competitive pricing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not on the low end either. It looks fantastic.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
would prefer playing this over a AAA any day, if I'm being quite honest.
I prefer actually playing a lot more indies than I live anything. So,
Same.
yeah. So, but yeah, definitely Xbox accessibility controller, and you can use your foot. It's an option, but yeah, keyboards is ergonomic. Yeah, that's do they still sell those though? That's a real question, because I know they were when they made it was on the Xbox One back in the day. But if they still make them, that's even better. That'd be
Wait,
cool.
I think
you
that's
can
a
use
thing.
your foot?
Yeah. You look it up. But so the Xbox made a handicap controller for but it's not. It's like it have a base station, but then it makes you to so if people have one arm or they have different types of disabilities, you can make like controller like pedals as your controller.
I've seen something kind of like that. It almost looks like your bass pedals at like a concert lined up, but instead it's a controller.
You
like
should just look it up. So type in Xbox accessibility controller. There's just so many different little levers, pulleys, things like that allow any kind of gaming possible for folks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good game. So guys, check out Have a Nice Death. I may or may not stream it. If I do, I will post on Twitter, let you know I am playing it. But it's definitely a good one. Not sponsored by Gearbox, but I'm just calling it a good game when I see it. So there you go. Yeah. Oh, what?
Before we go, for Christmas, I would like one of these accessibility controllers. Thank you. That is all.
Oh yeah. How much are they?
$100, which isn't bad for what you get.
Not bad.
What do you get though? Because they only give you. I thought
they give you two. Okay, imagine the dog talking buttons, but larger. They give you two of those, and then it has the traditional arrows keys, and then it's got a little button, but it's bigger for the Xbox button, and then the two settings. So I mean, yeah, you can basically drive with your big toe and then press the buttons with your other foot. That might work out after a surgery for me.
We have constantly told Lex you should. Well, she can't play a controller. We know Lex can't play with a controller, so the keyboard's the best thing for her to go with. But we've said hey, you could try a fight stick or something, because you don't have to necessarily do it. But the problem is fight sticks are expensive. Yeah, so they're not
$500.
They're not ideal. Yeah, the Victrix, I'm assuming. So yeah, that one is those things, they're not cheap. So we've always tried to find. She has to have an alternative, but we didn't know what it was. I didn't even really think about the handicap controller, especially. But that actually might work.
Especially when I get out of surgeries, I'm screwed, man. I'm in bed and I can't do nothing. That'd be perfect. Someone just prop it up on a little square pillow for me, and I can bang my feet out. That sounds awful. I could do that, and I just gotta get my colorblind contacts, and we're good to go. I can play all the games.
Yes. Oh boy, folks. Thank you for listening to episode number 167 of the CFG Gamecast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation as always. We will be back next week. Smitty will be away, but the rest of the crew will be here. Hopefully, maybe get a special guest. Who knows? But if you do if you missed out on this episode, that is perfectly all right. We release it on all podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitch Radio, all on all podcast services each and every Monday. So if you so there's absolutely no reason to miss out on our sexy voices. Wow. I kind of was going blank because I'm watching a video. But guys, thank you so much. We'll be thank you so much. But if in the meantime, definitely check out our other podcast, the Pop Culture Gems. We had a great interview with the creators of the X-Men animated series, and like it's a very rare moment where I get to fanboy a little bit, and so that one I did. But definitely check that out. It is available on all podcast services or on our YouTube channel. So guys, once again, this is Davis, Lex, and Smitty signing off. Y'all, take it easy.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.